Hi, this is Albert, and today I'm going to discuss a game that I just played against a quite high rated opponent. And in this game, I managed to checkmate my opponent as black. And let's just have a look here. So I was black here, and my opponent is batanov0949, which is rated 1900 plus, and I was only rated 1543 due to losses I made. So it opened up with d4, and then I replied with c5, and then d5. Then I moved my knight to f6 to attack this d pawn, and then white reinforced the piece in the middle by moving c4. And for this sort of attack, I think I need to open the middle pawns, because otherwise my knight will be stuck and I cannot move anywhere. So what I did is e5 here, and then my opponent on me, so it took e6 here, and then I just took using my f pawn, because if I took using my d pawn, there will be an exchange of queen, and then I don't want it, because I want my king to castle later on. My idea is going to be to fianchetto my bishops, and I guess that I don't like my king to be in the middle. So bishop goes to g5 here. I reply with g6. The idea is to fianchetto my bishop later on, but then e4, which is a threat to my knight that is under a pin at f6. So just move my bishop here to free up the pin to e7. Knight goes to c3, probably trying to avoid any knight attack from f6 to e4. I castled to kingside, and it's actually a mistake here. White took my knight. Actually, it is suggested that white move its bishop to g sorry to h6 to sort of gain a tempo, and then I have to move my rook forward to f7 from f8. That sort of thing is actually pretty good according to this, but then yeah, but it just took, so I took back, and I will move my bishop back to g7, so it's safe, and there will be a discovered attack to f2, which is near the king. So I'll continue here. Here queen goes to c2. Probably the idea is trying to attack diagonally, trying to attack black diagonally later on by maybe opening the file the diagonal after moving the pawn at e4 to e5. But then I think it's pretty weak. I believe white's king is not going to castle queenside, so I just move on with a plan to fianchetto my white square bishop by moving to the pawn from b7 to b6. So here white is trying to battery its attack by moving its bishop to d3. I go on for using my plan, fianchettoing my bishop so I move my bishop to b7, attacking the pawn at e4 at the same time, as well as preparing for the plan of the king that probably will sort of hassle kingside, because the pawn at queenside is actually pretty scrambled. It has moved forward. So let's have a look here. Knight goes to knight at g goes to e2, pulling out my bishop to g7, and then there it goes, castle kingside. My knight goes to c6, prompting any plan for the pawn from e4 to move to e5 immediately. And also actually is supposed to sort of attack white later on. a3, which is we're trying to avoid any move such as knight b4, but my knight is not actually moving there. It goes here, just to d4, exchange of knight, and again a tempo here because my pawn is attacking its knight, white's knight, and white has to defend or move. So from this position, I guess I can have an open file at f and also an open file at c, and I want all my rooks to be there to occupy the open files, because the thing about the open file is you sort of want to have a strong piece there, so it is you actually control the open file, and it's actually good for you. So as you can see, my rook is already occupying the open file at f, and what will I do? I will there's another open file which is at c, and I will move my rook there. So rook goes to c8, and it's really threatening any pieces, and maybe also x-raying any pieces that is there. So basically it's just saying I'm going to attack the queen, or maybe doubling up, or maybe having a discovered attack, anything like that. So here white is afraid, it's moving its queen there, probably to try to avoid anything such as b5. And here I want to bring my queen to scare white, so just move my queen to h4 here, probably to try to make any scary attack or something like that. And it goes f3 here. I'm not sure what's the plan here, but it's actually protecting maybe the e4 pawn from any attack from the bishop and the queen, but it's actually also making a hole and the black squares near the black king. So my plan is actually to probably firstly I'm going to support my pawn here, as well as I'm going to bring up an attack to the black squares probably later on. So b4 here, probably trying to make an attack in the queen side wing, but then I don't think it's actually quite relevant at all. This moves I believe is actually weaken the c4 pawn, and later on I will sort of exploit or maybe take advantage of this. So I'm going to attack the queen first, so bishop goes to h6, and the queen actually goes there trying to attack my queen, so I don't want any queen exchange here to happen, so just move my queen here. And from here actually it is suggested for white to move the f pawn forward, because even though there will be an exchange of pieces or something like that, it's actually pretty far away from losing materials. But actually white really wants to chase my queen around, so as you can see here I move my queen to e3. It's a check, and from here you can see that it's a blunder, because for white this move is actually blunder, because I am going to win the bishop here, definitely. So even a 1900 player, 1900 rating player can make mistakes and such as this. And even though the game is lasts for 7 minutes and there will be a 2-second time increment, which is enough for people to think, you can make mistake as well. So king goes there. I just took the bishop here. Oh, sorry. I make an intermediate move, which is attacking the queen as well, because I like to annoy people, and the queen is actually scared here. And yeah, the knight took, and I took it back using a pawn, which is a fantastic move, I believe. And queen goes there, or to a safe haven, and just took the bishop. Sorry, what happened here? Okay. So after I took the bishop, queen goes there. Not sure what the queen is doing here. Probably it has moved to the wrong square, which is the black square. I go on taking the pawn, and the plan here actually is to advance my pawn at d4 and then make it another queen, because this is actually already the middle game, and as you can see, I have a battery at c file here, which is ready to sort of attack any rook advance. And also I have a pulse pawn, which is d4, and then my plan is actually just to march it forward and then take the rook probably at f1 if my pawn is actually near the 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 number one rank, the first rank here. So whites keep taking all the pieces, and I actually don't mind if white does that, because even if white took my white square bishop, I don't mind, because the plan is actually to advance my pawn here. And then here, as you can see, white move h3. Maybe it's trying to make an escape hole for the king in case anything happened in the first rank. It's actually too slow, and the computer doesn't recommend it. So I move my pawn to d2, which is almost become a queen. And if there is any rook went to d1, I just took the other rook and it will become a queen. So white is trying to do the same, but it's too late. So what I did here is I moved my rook to c7, just trying to avoid any queen taking any more pawns, because it's not good. Queen goes there. I took the rook. I moved my rook there to d4. Just trying to attack the queen hanging out there. Queen goes back there. Move my rook there. And then queen takes a7. I took the rook at f1 check, and then I advance my queen here, and then rook takes d1, which is a mistake because it is actually a force mate in 8 moves. And as you can see, the idea of sacrificing the pawns and the pieces here is actually to get the white queen in a bad position, so it cannot annoy me with checks directly. And here I positionally will attack the white's king. After king moves, I am battering up my rook. And how does white defend this? It cannot really defend well, and it is prone to checkmate here. So white still can check me here by moving his queen to b8, which is the last actually defense. Is now a checkmate, forced checkmate in 6. I just move my king forward, and then my idea is actually to hide behind the hole after this move. So white cannot checkmate. White cannot check me anymore without any with losing any pieces. And I have a trade of mate by moving my rook to h1. So how to avoid this? Just like that. So that's a checkmate. It's a force move, and that's the end of the game. So it's a good game because I can win against an opponent which is 400 ratings above me, and that's basically a good thing. So probably the lesson here for me is to play positionally and control the open files, and also to avoid any mistakes or blunders like white did. Thank you for watching.